Why don't Stoics make good comedians? Because they never break their character. Now you might be wondering what Stoicism has got to do with stand-up comedy. Well, Stoicism, a philosophy that's been around for centuries, offers 21 life lessons that are as essential today as they were back in ancient Greece. And while Stoics might not be the life of the party, they sure do know a thing or two about living life to its fullest. So buckle up, folks. We are about to dive into the world of Stoics. And no, it's not a new brand of pickles. Let's kick off with the first 7 lessons. Number 1, to be loved, love, or as I like to say, love and you'll be loved, ignore and you'll be ignored. It's kind of like that time you forgot your dog's birthday and he gave you the cold snout for a week. Lesson number 2, change is the only constant. Just like my gym routine, constantly changing. Because I never stick to it. Third lesson, living in the present. The Stoics were way ahead of their time, practicing mindfulness before it was cool. They were the original hipsters, but without the man buns and avocado toast. Lesson number 4, accept what you cannot change, like the fact that your favorite TV show is never coming back. Yes, I'm still mourning Game of Thrones. Fifth lesson, nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Kinda how I feel about my slow cooker. 6 hours for a stew, but boy is it worth it. The sixth one is, the obstacle is the way. You know, like when you're trying to avoid your ex at a party but keep bumping into them at every turn. Finally, the 7th lesson, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Ever had that moment of panic thinking you've lost your phone only to realize it's in your hand? Yep, that's it. That's it for part 1. I know you're hanging on the edge of your seat for more. Patience, my friend, patience. Welcome back to round 2 of Stoic life lessons. Number 8, don't sweat the small stuff. Or as I like to say, if it's not a dinosaur charging at you, it's probably not worth stressing over. Alright, moving on to number 9, love to be loved. It's like that old saying, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. But in this case, it's more like, you love my flaws, I'll love yours. Fair trade, right? Next up, number 10, live in the present. Because let's face it, time travel hasn't been invented yet, and dwelling on the past or future is like trying to drive while only looking in the rearview mirror. 11, accept what you can't change. This is the Stoics' version of the Serenity Prayer, minus the part about the courage to change the things you can. Cause hey, sometimes courage is overrated. Number 12, plan for the future. Because while we're living in the present, it's always good to have a map for where we're going, even if that map is drawn in crayon. 13, learn from the past. Because those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. And let's be honest, some of us are still trying to forget our fashion choices from the 80s. And finally, number 14, prioritize well-being. Not just your physical well-being, but your mental and emotional well-being too. Because let's face it, a six-pack is great, but not if it comes with a side of anxiety. And that's a wrap on part 2. Stay tuned for the final round of Stoic wisdom. And finally, the last lessons from our Stoic friends. Number 15, life is short. Or, as I like to say, life is like a roll of toilet paper, it goes faster towards the end. Now, the Stoics were the original minimalists before it was cool. They'd tell you, get rid of that designer toga, virtue is the real Gucci. And there you have it, folks. 21 life lessons from the Stoics. Remember, laughter is the best medicine. But if you're a Stoic, so is indifference. Alright, time for the Stoic recap. Remember, folks, it's all about love, living in the present and not sweating the small stuff. Or the big stuff. Basically, any stuff. Prioritize well-being over toxic dynamics and embrace the power of transformation. Stay flexible, reevaluate relationships, and always keep your sense of humor. And that's a wrap, folks. Thanks for tuning into our Stoic stand-up. Remember, keep laughing and stay stoic.